cold as shit. Alright, so we're here with our good friend Shane, good old high school friend and everything like that. He has a couple of dope builds and everything, so we're going to talk about his latest one that he's been working on.
It started out life as an American-made 1995 Nissan 240SX. It's had an SR swap done to it. We recently tubed the front end and did an Odyvia conversion on it, and it's the world's first authentic Spirit Rei S14 Odyvia.
So tell us specifically why this front end is so special.
The really cool thing about it is it's not just like some JP fiberglass bullshit or some retrofitted like S14 fenders that I cut and hacked up and made work. It's an authentic Spirit Rei front end from Japan, and if anybody knows anything in the car scene, Spirit Rei's like the shit when it comes to the body kits and like Nissan shit and drift car stuff. Like they just, all their stuff is just next level. So
Honda Odyssey headlights. It's interesting.
I wanted to
minivan headlights on the drift car.
I wanted to make sure I bought the full complete front end with the grille, with the bumper, with the fenders, with the hood, with the headlights, all directly from them, and make it work the rest of the way from there myself, and just make it fit for the S14.
What? How long did you have to wait for the kit to get here?
Oh, I waited over a year for it. Plus, not to mention, I kind of spread it out. I ordered the headlights first, and then ordered the front end later on, because just funds and money. It's pretty much almost over $3 grand just in the body parts for this front end, and the headlights themselves were about $550 plus shipping.
Damn.
So
this is like a one-of-a-kind front end.
And then not to mention, I don't even know how much SDMF would charge for the Steel 2 front end, but they went pretty all out on it, and I did a good solid year's worth of trade work with probably, I'd quote, at least $5,000 worth of body work for them, to have them do the front end and do the cage on it for me. So
that's dope. They do really good work. Dustin's very, very skilled.
So if you wanted to add that up right there, that's probably a good 10 to 15 grand just in work right there, and fucking getting the front end just to work. You know what I mean?
And this is the first time you've seen it with everything on it, even though it's all duct taped on. But
yeah, so this is the first time that I really kind of got to see the dream come together in the picture and idea of like what it was all gonna look like.
Is this kit's not actually made for this car, is it?
No, it's actually, the kit's made for an S13, so I had to basically order up the kit made to order from Japan and get the whole front end cut off and formed up for it, and all the brackets made for the headlights and the intercooler and the radiator, and tubed it and tubbed it, and so we did get more steering clearance for the extra angle that we were running with the big tires, and be able to slam it down low. So these are some of the difficulties that we've had to face with going from trying to fit an S13 front end on an S14. Obviously, as you can notice, the fenders stop about here and don't go up to the pillar as they need to, and the hood gap's a little bit off because the S13s are a little bit skinnier in the front end. So I'm gonna have to do a decent amount of fiberglass work of cutting this and then lengthening it out to make it line up with the hood real nice, and then also adding some extra fiberglass here to extend it up to the pillar. I also plan on continuing this body line from the door, the classic S14 body line that the S13s also don't have, onto the fender, and then making the fender obviously fit better and cleaner with the door so it lines up real nice. I'm all about nice clean 3/8 inch door gaps and body gaps for all my shit. We also did a cage. It's got a full modded steering front knuckles and lower adjustable control arms, powered by max tie rods. And I still have to do the wire tuck on it and relocate the fuse box, relocate the battery, just just got new motor mounts and transmission mounts and got to get the hood pins on order. So, and then I'm planning on getting some different wheels. I haven't really quite decided yet, but something 3-piece and from Japan, high end, nothing rep or cheap.
That's good. It's your style. So.
Run some stretch tires and make it dope.
Let's pull the hood off and go look at the work that STMF did. Undo our nice duct tape.
Duct tape hood
Like
pins.
we said, this is the first time he's seen it with all the body panels and everything on it. We've got it all taped up before he, you know, molds it all into the car. So
And take it all apart and get it all prepped out for bodywork and paint.
oh man, that is beautiful. STMF, they do.
Yeah, shout out to STMF. This whole front end is detachable, right?
Yeah, the whole core support on bolts for making them easier to swap your motors in and out. So you don't bang up your oil pans or bang up your core support.
How does it detach?
Just unbolts pretty quickly, just right here. And this is the also mounts for the grill and the intercooler support, so it all comes together, but it's all welded into one piece, essentially.
That's dope. And so the whole front end of the car basically can be pulled off, so you can pull the engine straight out.
Yep.
That's sick.
The core support, and the whole front end. Yep.
And he does it custom every time. Like no car's the same, right?
Yeah, everyone that he does is different in its own little way. I mean, he has his own style. You can always tell that he did it, you know what I mean? Just by his quality of work and the way that he sets things up, there's definitely some thought process that goes into it. I plan on keeping the interior all mostly complete. That's why we only went with a half cage on it. We didn't cut up the dash or any crazy shit like that. I still gotta put it all back together, but it's gonna have carpet. It's gonna have the rear seat still. It's gonna have all the door and trim panels. The dash is all nice and clean and no cracks or anything like that. All the gauges and clusters and all that shit work. It's no half-ass swap with just the fucking tack that works. All the oil dummy lights and all that stuff.
So pretty much full blown.
I mean, it's like, you know, it's a full done swap. I mean, I got the car like for a trade for a piece of shit WRX that was recon title. I know it was pretty clean at the time, but it was only worth $7 grand or so. And it had the SR in it and shit, but like it was just clapped out. It was backyard swapped, and the guy completely lied to me about it, and ended up finding the true story when I went out drifting with some buddies, and he ended up being friends with another guy. I was like, oh shit, dude, that's my buddy's car. We swapped that in a night and just like went and took it to this and this and this event. That's my old motor and blah blah blah. All this shit, and the guy just completely lied to me, told me he built it himself and everything, and whatever. So like I've had to basically redo the whole swap and rebuild the whole car over the process of the last 6 years since I've owned it.
Yeah.
It's gone through multiple different transmissions and fucking rear ends and clutches and manifolds and turbo setups and different tunes and wheels and tires and all kinds of fun stuff. So it's like you really kind of lose track of how much money you have into it when you're trying to actually just drive it and keep it running. But
How much money do you think you have in it at this point?
like I said, I probably lost track around 20 grand before I even started doing all this Odyvia shit. So that was before.
And that's not even inclling
That was back when
that
it was
beast over there.
still S14 Zinky and just nice
And let
running
alone,
and driving car.
didn't you wreck it? What was it? Twice? Twice?
It's been wrecked a couple
Twice.
times.
And we can show some pictures of that too. So.
Yeah, it's been around the block, dude. It's been used. I wrecked it the first day that I had it because it just never really. I went from having
You wrecked it the first day
pretty
you
much
had
the
it?
first week that I had it. The first time I drove it in the rain, like I was taking an off ramp on the highway and just barely hit boost in third, trying to pass a truck. It was a 2-lane off ramp. And it was wet, and the diff was welded, and the tires were bald as shit, and it had like slammed his shit on Megan coils with no suspension arms, so the alignment was just totally set up by the ride height of the car, and so it was just jacked out camber, only like an inch or two with bald ass tire touching, but 350 horsepower of just like untamed, untuned boost that just kicked in like with a fucking eBay wastegate that just like had boost creep and would boost to the moon, and just like kicked in late and just like. Yeah, just spun me out and fucking threw me into a concrete barrier and caved in the whole rear ass of the car. Did about 4 or 5 inches of frame damage to it, and basically that's how I learned to be a body tech, and I had to fix the only thing I had at the time, you know what I mean, that I just traded my other fucking car for. So everybody was telling me it was totaled, and we just grabbed a water truck and tied it down on the front frame rails and a fucking 200,000-pound winch and tied it down to the rear frame rails and pulled that fucker out, dude. It was straight sitting in the air because of how much tension it had on it, dude. Like, yeah, we tried it without the water truck at first and tried just tying it down to like a fucking pole or something, and it was like just breaking the chains and shit. Like, it was bad.
So realistically, how long do you think it's gonna take for you to finish this car?
Oh man, life happens. It's brutal, but I've already got paint swatches that I'm getting picked out this week, and colors figured out for getting the front end and the engine bay all painted up, and then get the cage done at the same time, and then start getting the motor back in and get the wiring all figured out. And then after that, I'll just be getting the bodywork done and getting the exterior painted, and then get it fine-tuned and be running and driving again. So I mean, hopefully within the next year. I mean, I'd like to say before summertime, but like it's already spring, so hopes and dreams, right?
Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? We hope you guys enjoyed our very first video covering Shane's Odyvia S14. Be sure to subscribe below to continue following this build. He's got a lot of dope stuff planned for it. Now it's time for our very first giveaway. So in order to win this giveaway, we want you to comment below your dream car, and make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel in order to be eligible to enter. First place is going to get one of these brand new Saucy t-shirts that we just printed.
Sticker pack.
Sticker pack.
And then a subscription to Super Street.
Yeah, subscription to Super Street magazine. So, and then second place, we'll send you guys a sticker pack as well. So, yeah, just be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for a chance to win that. And
we hope you enjoyed the video, and we have some more dope stuff coming up. We just got back from Park. A lot of dope trip videos and everything like that. We're pretty excited to bring them to you and show you guys as well.
yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah. See you next time.